What's going on YouTube? Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival was probably the largest satanic / demonic ritual that we have ever witnessed on public display. It was bad from every angle, and there were many satanic symbols and aspects to the festival, which I did a video about yesterday, but it was a short video, so this is going to be slightly more detailed. Before I get into this, I just want to say, if you want to add more to it or correct me, please feel free to do so, as we are all learning here. There is no other way to describe this festival other than extremely satanic and ritualistic. Everyone that went to this festival should be worried, because they were under the influence of probably the biggest spell ever. There are witnesses already talking about how they haven't felt relaxed ever since that day. And these are the people that were not injured. These are the people that actually enjoyed the show. However, they are still saying that they have been feeling weird ever since that day. That is because they were under a demon possession. God knows how many spirits were lurking around during that festival, because everything was being done to actually incite demons to come to this festival and get inside people to actually make them more lit, as Travis Scott wants it to be. I think this whole trampling shit that happened, because people are now rejecting the idea that someone got injected. I don't think that is true. Someone did get injected, and that could have been a catalyst for the rest of the shit that happened. But I think people has already said it, that people going crazy way before that. People could barely breathe. Everyone was just going too crazy, and they were too stuck together. So it could have been the demon possession that made people act crazy, to actually not even give a shit about trampling others and getting them injured. People were dying left and right and just dropping, but no one seemed to care. And the paramedics that were on the scene, from what I've heard from other people, they were bloody useless. They could have just been actors made to stand there to make the people feel safe, but in fact they didn't even know what to do when people were just dropping, fainting. So someone that actually went to the concert, who was actually a real paramedic, she knew what to do, and she said that she got angry at these people for being so useless. So God knows what actually was going on over there. So let's get to the meaning. So first, notice that there are 8 flames there, and there were 8 people that died. But look at this. This is nothing but a representation of Lucifer, also known as Iblis, the fallen angel. Look at it. It's in so plain, obvious view. You see how angels are usually depicted as having wings and the fact that they can fly. Well, Lucifer is usually depicted as having wings, but it's usually surrounded by fire, or I've also seen variations of it where it's golden wings. And by the way, when people say Satan worship or Satanism, it's actually Lucifer worship. You see, Satan is like a generic word. However, Lucifer is the name of the actual person that was a fallen angel. So it's like there's Lucifer, and then there's Satan, who actually is used to refer to Lucifer, but in fact Satan, there's not one Satan, let's put it that way. Satan, to be honest, is not even a real person. When you say Satan, it's actually Lucifer, but it's got demons that work for Lucifer, also known as Satan. I just wanted to put that out there. The actual person, when you're referring to by using the word Satan, is Lucifer, the fallen angel. Now look at this out. What does this remind you of? Have a think. Let me just show you. This, the Bohemian Grove, where Alex Jones supposedly snuck in and got this footage where they were just worshipping this big owl. This is also, by the way, I'm sure all of you know this, is the mascot of OVO, but it's nothing but a representation of Moloch, the ancient god of child sacrifices. And that's interesting, right? The ancient god of child sacrifices. But to be honest, in my opinion, Baphomet, Moloch, and the owl, they all refer to the same deity. They've just been twisted and transformed into different names, but I believe they refer to the same deity. But the owl is also worshipped in a ritualistic manner at the Bohemian Grove, where some of the world's most powerful people gather together and make important decisions and partake in demonic rituals. Now let's talk about this thing right here. This represents a few things. Well, the easiest interpretation of this is just going into the belly of the beast. That could be the most simplest explanation of this. However, there's a deeper meaning to this and to this big mouth head thing. It's referred to as the hell mouth. It's an ancient painting or imagery that basically describes the entrance to hell. So when you're entering Travis Scott's festival of Astroworld, you're basically entering hell, and that's why you have many accounts of people talking about how it felt like it was a concert in hell. And that's where you saw those imagery where it said, see you on the other side. What side are they talking about? Well, there are two sides. First, on the other side, once this was for the people that actually were going to be affected by this, or it could actually mean that he's actually helping you get to hell by being in that festival. That was a demonic festival, and the energy that was created by the people that were there and the ritualistic aspects of the whole festival, that's not gonna just leave you unaffected. I'm sorry to say this. That's why the people that actually went there, whatever religion you believe in, you better spend a whole day in the remembrance of God, because that did affect you whether you like it or not. At least some people are already admitting that they haven't felt normal ever since that day. Now finally, I want to talk about the whole one eye thing. A lot of people said this represents the eye of Horus, or it represents the all-seeing eye of knowledge. There are different, and also this one I could actually agree with, that it actually does look like the CERN portal, as if it's an opening to a portal that is trying to, summon demons, or actually suck in the energy of its environment. But I still stand by this. The one eye represents the eye of the Antichrist. According to religions such as Islam, the Antichrist only has one eye. It's blinded in the other, and it also connects to the teachings of Islam, which says that the world is being prepared for the arrival of Antichrist, and Antichrist has been described as having only one eye. That's why you see it everywhere. There isn't a music video nowadays that you see where the one eye is not shown, at least in one way or the other. This festival was just an overload of symbolism, and it just pulled from every direction. They dumped as much demonic energy and symbolism in this festival as it was possible. These were the main signs or symbols in the festival that I wanted to talk about. However, there are a lot more great content on YouTube right now about this topic, because no one has a complete knowledge with regards to these things. So everyone watches the others to fill in the gaps in their knowledge. So there are other aspects that are being discussed as well, but you know, Kylie Jenner also was posting mad crazy shit on her Instagram recently, and Travis Scott as well. It's also blatant. And you know, the cover of I think it was a newspaper recently, it said the true dystopia is here. Like, how much more obvious and blatant these people could have been. Travis Scott, I don't even think is a human at this point, or he's not, at least in his own control. The guy is clearly under some sort of MK Ultra control, and he's possessed. Let me just put it this way: you cannot be a normal person messing with the Kardashians or the Jenners. Those are witches. There's no other way to say this. They're witches. So yes, Travis Scott, this whole festival, it was demonic as hell, and the lawsuits are going to keep coming against them, but it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play out. I don't think anything is really going to happen to him. If it does, then we could say that he was made a sacrificial lamb, and he's not going to be the last person. They're just going to replace him with someone else, as someone in the comments said yesterday. But I do not think anything's going to happen to him. Nothing serious. He might have to pay money, and maybe a lot of money. Money is not an issue to these people. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how all of this goes down, because right now this is a really big news. And to be honest, I don't even like this. Originally, I wasn't even going to make a long video about this, because the fact that we are talking about this and we are mentioning these satanic demonic deities such as Lucifer, Satan, Moloch, Baphomet, and all these, we are actually in a way worshipping them because they like being mentioned, remembered, and that's exactly what we are doing. So while all of this is happening, notice the fact that people are talking about godless. So yes, we are giving them energy. The festival wasn't the only energy harvest that day or that was planned. The fact that we are talking about this and making videos about it as well, we are harvesting or giving them energy that they need, and especially negative energy, because they feed off of these energies. So the fact that people are scared now and all these things, it actually feeds them. So yes, after this, I do not think I'll make a video about this topic at least. But yeah, if you're still here watching this by this point, thank you. Like the video, and I've never said this before, but share the video if you can.